guys, it's Jalen. Welcome back. I'm here today to share with you a repressing and frankening session. So I'm going to repress some shades in my Norvina palette. I may also do something with the Viseart palette that I'm panning. So some of the tools I have are two of these like silicone bowls that I got from, I think from TKB Trading. I have a palette tool that I like to use to like scrape shadow out, and then I have my 70% isopropyl alcohol. I also have my Wet n Wild palette here, the Kevin Aquan contour powder that I like to use, and then I also have my Lorac palette that I'm probably going to use some shades to franken with. So I know this is dirty. I'm so sorry. I'm going to put this stuff off to the side. I think, and sorry for the splotches. I already got some like wetness from my makeup wipe on the paper towel and some shadow down here, which I don't even know if you can see. Anyway, all right. So let's see what the Norvina looks like. This has changed since the last time you guys saw this. So here is the palette. And you can see I've been working on Celestial, I'm sorry. This is very dirty. I'm going to have to clean this. But I've been working on Celestial, and so that powder, that shadow has become very powdery. I'm not going to do anything with that. I may actually dump it out because it may be difficult to work with these other shades. Or maybe I'll just repress it. It'll just be easier to repress it. And so my plan is to repress Volatile, repress Dreamer, and I'm going to take my Franken base and I'm going to like make a new Franken with Eccentric. And I'm probably also going to repress Love. I also want to take some of Summer and maybe franken it with the rest of Wild Child into this pan. And then I'm thinking about, for the Midsommer, this is the franken I made with this Wet n Wild shade and Wild Child. No, I'm sorry, Summer. And this one is, well, you can't even see it. That's the one with Summer and the Wet n Wild shadow. And then this one is Wild Child with the Wet n Wild pink. In fact, let me just take this lid off so you can see the pink better. It's pretty blown out because I have a lot of lights going on here. Sorry about that, but there you can kind of see the pink. I'll try to color correct whenever I'm editing. Anyway, I do want to repress this shade, and I'm going to do something with this white because I don't really like it. So I may end up trying it with Summer to see how that looks. Anyway, that's kind of the plan. So first off, let me clean this palette a little bit because it's pretty nasty. I like to take a makeup wipe, put it over a like setting powder or something, wrap it around, and then we're just going to do this. There we go. That's much better. And let me wipe down the mirror. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention as a tool, I have this spray that I put isopropyl alcohol in case I need it. So what I'm going to start by doing is spraying these pans, and we'll clean them out. All right, I'm going to spray it one more time. I'm just going to leave it in there for a little bit. This is a little bit of an aggressive spray just to give it some sanitation. I'm going to go ahead and repress Celestial, so hopefully you guys can see this and my camera behaves. And I'll probably speed this part up. I forgot to mention I have a pipette that I like to use when frankening, so I can get just like little droplets of alcohol. So I'm just going to put a couple of drops in here. I don't need much. There really is not very much shadow left in here. All right. And then I'm just going to take a Kleenex and press that in. There we go. That's all I needed to do with that one. There's not much shadow left. I'm thinking a couple more days. All right, so now let me repress Volatile. I'm going to use the pointy end for this one to start. All right, I'm going to grab my pipette again. And by the way, I got these from Amazon. There was like a pack of 100 for, I don't know, less than $10 or something. So we're going to start with like 3 drops. I don't like to put too much alcohol in here just to get it like to a sandy texture. So it adheres to each other. All right, I'm gonna put one more drop in. All right, it doesn't need to be pretty, but I'm trying to get as much as I can from the sides. And I did grab this Patrick Ta gloss because it's got a square base to help me to repress these square pans. So we're just gonna press that in. And that'll work. I mean, I'm just trying to get the rest of the shadow out. Like I said, it ain't pretty, but that'll work. All right, and then let's go ahead and repress Love. I do like to spray my tool in between repressing. Oh, I may have put too much alcohol in there. All right. I may need to go get another Kleenex. There we go. That will work fine. Okay, and then let's repress Dreamer. This probably doesn't need a lot of alcohol. I find that if I use too much alcohol, the shadow or powder, whatever you're working with, will crack. So I don't like to use, I try to use the least amount of alcohol I possibly can when I'm repressing. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but. So we've repressed 1, 2, 3 shadows, 4, excuse me. And I think, let me just clean this off again. So now I'm going to do base. And I'm actually going to grab one of my silicone bowls for this. So I'm going to break this up and dump it in the silicone bowl. All right, so that's what was in there. And I'm going to scrape out a little bit of eccentric in there. There is no, like, chemistry to this. I'm just playing around here. So I don't like eccentric because I think it's too warm for me. So the next thing I'm going to do is grab my Kevin Aquan contour powder. And, oh, it's broken again. God, mother of God. So I'm just going to take a chunk of the stuff. We'll just take that piece. This thing breaks all the time. And I'm going to crush that up in there. Looks like I may have a little bit of Celestial in there too. I like to use the flat part of this palette tool to kind of break up the powder. All right, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Lorac palette. This is the Shine Bright palette. And I'm going to take some of the powder from here. I think what I'm going to do is take the rest of Dusty Mauve, a little bit of Primrose, and a little bit of Smoked Plum. Again, there's no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I'm just playing around here. Trying to cool this powder down a little bit. So now I have another empty pan in this palette, which is great. And let's do a little bit of Primrose. And then a little bit of Smoked Plum. Okay. So now I'm going to mix this up and see what I've got. Okay, so let me just swatch this and see what we're getting. Not bad, not bad, especially when you compare it to the original. Whoops, I'm not centered. But I think I'm going to add a little bit more. Actually, I think I may try adding some of Haze in there. I haven't tried this yet. Again, I'm just playing around. This may not have that much of an impact because I didn't put a lot in there. So I'm actually going to add a little bit more. I'm getting shadow everywhere. And that kind of looks similar, but I can't tell. I did wash my hands too ahead of time. Okay, yeah, that I like quite a bit. So I'm going to stick with this concoction and we're going to go ahead and repress it back into the base pan. I'm going to first clean this out. I know there's probably rust in here, but whatever, it's fine. My eyes are not, they're fine. Okay. So that's cleaned out. Let me add some alcohol to this. Let's see what we get. Hopefully this is interesting to you guys with my process for frankening. Okay, this is typically the texture I like to get it to, where it's, you know, just adhering to each other. I may add one more drop just to let it stick to each other a little bit more or better. All right, it's ready to go. What I like about these silicone cups is you can really flex, like pull it together to pour the shadow in the pan easier. There we go. It's got a little bit of a divot, which is fine. I should probably use this side, actually, now that I think about it. The flat side. That's what I should have been using this whole time. There we go. All right, so there's our new Franken. And now let's try Summer and Wild Child. Let me just look and see what that looks like. And just as a reference, this is Summer on its own. I do like that, but I'm wondering if I add something from in here, what will happen? Oh, that is beautiful. So I added a little bit of this silver icicle in. So I think I'm going to try that. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and use this bowl. So we're going to take a little bit of Summer. All right. We took a little bit of Summer. Oh, and I'm going to take Wild Child. I'm going to take half of Wild Child. And we're going to take a little bit of this Icicle shade. All right, let's see what we get. That is beautiful. Hopefully you can see it. I actually think I want it to be a little bit more on the mauve-y side, so I'm going to add a little bit more of Icicle. And if it ends up being too gray toned, I'll add some more of Wild Child in. We'll see. Yep, that's what I want. Oh, this is so fun. So I'm going to put this shade in the spot where Drama was. Oh, I need to add alcohol first. Forgot about the alcohol. All right, the fun part. Hi, Milo. There we go. Okay, I'm super happy with that color. That turned out beautiful. Love it. I'm kind of wanting to do something else with Wild Child. Let me see. I have this white shade, and I know this is... It's terrible. It's terrible. So what if I did with rose gold? Ooh. Okay, I like that. I like it. So let me clean out this one. We're going to take the rest of Wild Child. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this white. Well, maybe not a little bit. And then a smidgen of rose gold. These shadows are so soft. And let's just see what this gives me. This isn't a lot, but I may add a little bit more to it. I think I'm going to add a bit more rose gold. And a little bit more of the white. Because I'm thinking about this for fall. So I'd like it to be, you know, a fall toned mauve versus a bright pink, because I already have that. Yeah, that's better. Ooh, I like it. All right, I'm going to clean out the Wild Child pan. sit there for a little bit. And then I'll add some alcohol to our new Franken. There we go. Oh, I did the wrong end. I did the wrong end. All right, better. I'm happy with how things are looking right now in here. The next thing I want to fiddle with is this palette. So let me go ahead and repress this shade. In fact, I can take out this pan. Maybe a little easier, or maybe not. I don't know. Okay, yeah, that just flew out. Great. I have shadow somewhere on my floor. You can tell that's a hard pressed eyeshadow. Cost of doing business. I'm just going to start with 2 since we don't have much shadow in here. I don't want to put too much alcohol in there. All right, I can add 1 more little drop. Am I in frame? No. Okay, let's do this on the... My only problem, sometimes it sticks to the tool, the product does, so it's hard to get it in the center. I think I'm going to add 1 more drop. Get in the center. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't know if it's too big, so I'm just going to use my finger to press this in. There we go. Okay. All right, that worked out pretty well. And now I'm going to see what I can do with this white shade. I'm going to look back at this Lorac palette and just see what I can mix this white shade with. Oh, let me take this off. That will make what I can mix with this to make it usable. So there is that white shade. Let me try mixing it with this green. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, I'm kind of liking that. Here's another thought. Summer mixed with this shade. And maybe some silver. Oh, that's really pretty. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try, I guess I'll put it in the incense pan. Okay, so I'm going to take some more summer. Let's try this out. And we're going to take this shade Royalty. And some of this white shade that I have. All right, and then that's it, right? I think that's it. Oh, and then some of this icicle. Okay, let's take some icicle. Not a lot, just a little bit. Okay, see what we get. I really like to press the shadow in so it mixes really well. so I get an accurate representation of what it's going to look like. That's pretty. I think I may add a little bit more of royalty in. I'm making a big old mess over here. Yeah, I'm going to add a little bit more royalty in. I think I'm going to add more summer, actually, now that I look at it. Yeah, look at that. Look at how pretty that is. Holy moly. Okay, perfect. All right, I've cleaned out the incense pans, and now I'm just going to add some alcohol to this shade. There we go. That is gorgeous. Wow. Wow. Look at me go. And now that I'm thinking about it, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of summer and mix it with this pink from the Wet n Wild palette, and then put it with this into the summer pan. So it's all in one spot. First thing I'll do is I will take the rest of summer, and then let me go ahead and clean this pan out. It's good enough. And then I'll take this pan that already has the Franken in it, add it in. And then take some of the Wet n Wild pink. Okay, that turned a little bit more pink than I want, so I'm going to go and add some dazzling in here. I think I'm going to add some of this shade. Let's add some splendor, because it's looking really similar to this shade that I just frankened. So I want it to be a little bit of a different color. And I don't think dazzling is adding very much warmth to it. Let's see. I mean, I don't feel like it's done much, but it definitely changed it up a little bit. But you know, it is what it is. If I have two shades that are similar, I will survive. Maybe a little bit more of splendor, and then I'll call it done. Amazing. Oh, I will. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay, perfect. Hopefully I'm in focus. Please pray to God I'm in focus. There we go. I am happy with how this turned out. I'm loving it. Loving. Okay, so I think we're done for the most part. Let me clean this up again. My only thought is I have this empty pan in this Viseart palette, and I still want to do something with this, the rest of that white shade. So I'm trying to think what I should do with it. Like I want to get it used up. Okay, I'm going to try something. Probably a dumb idea, but I'm going to do it. Watch me go. I'm going to take some of this royalty shade. And some of Cosmic. I'm just going to get like half of Cosmic. Ah! Oops, party foul. Well, we'll just get a little bit of that color in there too. A fizz. Yeah. Let's see what happens. That is not turning out the way I anticipated. Oh, maybe it did. Look at that. I am going to add a little bit more of royalty in the shade. Marley is talking to me. I've almost used that entire shade up. But I always start small, like you never know. I shouldn't say always, because obviously with this one I did not start small. But in terms of adding things in, yeah, I like that. It's a little bit darker, great for fall. All right. Let's clean out these two pans here. And I have such a mess going on right now. Oh, that is really pretty. Oh, I like that one a lot. And I still have an empty pan that I can do whatever I want with later. All right, so disregard the dirty background, but here are our new palettes. Let me put this Lorac one away. Okay, there are my two Frankened and Repressed palettes. I love what I did here. I'm really happy with the shades I created. I may go ahead and repress Dazzling and Rose Gold just because they're, they need it. But at the end of the day, I've mentioned this. If I don't finish Eccentric, it's fine. I'm just frankening it in the meantime to get a nice, like not cool toned, but neutral first crease shade. So yeah, that is everything. I am done repressing. This is probably an hour long. It's over an hour long. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I probably fast forwarded through a bunch of the actual like mixing and stuff. But yeah, let me know in the comments if there was another combination that you think I should try with what's left. So that is going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you are doing well and staying safe. Please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.